happens in a hurry here, doesn't it?
Well, that 38 car just got fishtailing of David Gilliland, and he just could not hold on to that thing. And that turn 2 has been a tough one today. These guys are just getting aggressive in that turn.
Problem in front of these guys. That car just snapped around. There's something happened. Something broke on that car right there.
And everybody did a great job of avoiding. This could have been a lot worse than what it was.
He found that one over in that end of the race.
That's right.
Oh, and now
Martin spinning as they go down on the backstretch into the wall. Martin, heavy damage to that Scott's number 6.
Oh, no.
Back into the line of traffic.
Trying to slide up there in front of Matt, and that was just a close call, and an inch would have done it.
Yeah, and you
Montoya.
Whoa.
Almost made it.
But you look at Matt, that's 2 cars coming from 2 different angles to the same spot on the racetrack. And, you know, it's one of those deals that's give and take. And I don't think Matt thought that he was going to come up that quick either.
Long and hard to put this car competitive.
Oh, Robert Ingram spins.
What a job Jeff Bodine did to miss him to get up high, and Bodine on the binders. And more trouble. That's Mark Martin.
Mark Martin's Ford. There are flames shooting out. Mark is going to head towards the grass now, spins and hard into the retaining wall.
Loose as it came out of that turn, then all of a sudden the right front tire must have gone flat because it just veered straight into the wall. He had no control over it, and of course that's the reason for the caution out.
On him or something. Yeah, there you go.
Looked like he might have had a little help there from Jeff Green.
I think he may have got a...
Look at the dust off the back of that car, though. That's what we were talking about. When you get up there, you're pretty well wrecked.
Boy, he hit pretty hard, too.
Yes.
In turn 4. Yeah, and Mark had caught these cars. You can see Bobby Labonte looks like just loses it, gets loose with that car right up behind him there. But Mark had been there for a while, and you can see Mark spinning now. Not much you can do except hold on and lock the brakes as a driver at this point in time.
And right there. Oh.
Yeah, I was lucky the crew members weren't injured there.
Darlington over the years. What about the 38 car? He takes off, and Martin does not take off. He gets turned into the wall. Contact, the 47 of Byers involved.
They're wrecking now. Come on.
This is definitely a fuel situation that caused this.
Outside line, everybody's coming. And, wow. Boy, McMurray, Mark, the 11. I believe the 83 may have gotten through there. Vickers without hitting anything.
Scoreboard, because as they come around, it's 4-9. Mark in the wall.
Oh man,
hard with the right front. Sliding down the racetrack, and everybody gets by.
Oh, and Mark Martin goes around. Hard contact.
Spin off a 4, wave that 12 car off, wave him off, caution.
Up on the outside, Mark in the middle. And right there where Almirola needs to come back to come up off of the trioval right there, he gets into Mark Martin.
Darrell, it narrows down so much in those dog legs.
It does. I mean, you gotta get some room there, buddy.
Well, right at that point is the second dog leg where the track turns. If that had been a straightaway,
nobody in that pack right now has got a.
There's
Tony Stewart.
Is that Mark Martin?
That's Mark Martin that he hit.
Here comes another car.
He was running in 5th spot, back there in 9th or 10th.
There's 99.
And the 99 gets collected as well. Still inside. Watch it there, watch it. We're in now on yard mark. Yard bus.
Down in the corner, he looks like he and Mark may have gotten together. It's kind of hard to tell.
That's entering turn 3.
I'm not so sure. You know, Burton got loose down here and
gets sideways. There you go. It's, I could see that car. It's one of the
number 80.
Mark Crow, one of the Crow brothers. And of course, Mark had nowhere to go.
Phil Parsons almost went over Mark Martin's
got
car.
up on top of Mark, and here comes a whole bunch
Blaze
of other guys.
Alexander and the 20 there.
Piling in on top of each other. Nowhere to go.
Oh.
Like everybody just ran out of room. That's a tough place on this track too, is where that track flattens out off turn 4.
There's oh, he got hit by the 29 car. Okay. Yep. That's what happened.
There they are.
Yeah.
As Grissom came up to try to avoid Chad Little and the 90 car, Mike Wallace, he got into Mark.
Mark hit really hard on the outside there, and what happens, you've seen him limping a little bit. A lot of times your legs will get up into like the clutch pedal. And it'll...
Saw as he was riding here to come take the white flag.
Here's 1-1 coming down.
Oh, man. Yeah, you can't watch something like that. You could hear him say, watch the 1 coming down, but no time.
Dale, a different angle. You see Bessie's car tag to the inside, right side of your screen. That's Steele. There's Barfield into the outside wall.
You saw Bessie go up, and he hits the left rear of Mark Martin's car and knocks the tire off the wheel.
Here's Earnhardt and then Labonte's we were talking, and the car got out of shape before it started into the turn, and that was the
Bodine.
4 Fords when you count Alan Kowicki there.
Was that Kowicki's car or the? Yeah, it was Alan Kowicki's car that got out of shape to begin with, and just took everybody else up in it as it went into turn.
Well, let's see. We just talked about Fishline and what a great job he's doing. Well, he just got her a little loose off turn 2 there.
Comes right back up and hits Tim Fedor, car number 33, Mark Martin. Tries to dodge him in the car 60, and he cut it a little bit too sharp.
Yeah.
And then lost control up onto the outside wall, and then bounces back down into the grass.
Talk to him. Then they leave you alone. It's not a problem with it.
Okay, here's what happened final lap. Casey, and I'm going to put a big block on him, and that's what it was. He put a and man, once you get that grass, you're done.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a hit, man.
Wow.
That was a hit.
That was a hard hit. The 16 and the 5 just drove into the side of the 9, had no place to go. The Mark Martin and Biffle took the hard hits right there. And then you see 24 come into it.
Now Martin goes high. Presley takes the opportunity to try to get over, and they touch. Mark Martin spins around down to the inside retaining wall.
There's Martin on the inside of Michael Waltrip. Mike Skinner right behind, and just to go in the corner, Skinner gets in the back of Mark Martin, and boom, in the wall goes Mark. And here's Jeff Gordon making some contact with Rick Mast as he go down in turn 1. And Mast.
Schrader is on pit road. The pole sitter is in trouble as we look at this final replay angle of Mark Martin. Another field summary showing you where your favorite driver was running last. Oh, and Mark Martin spins. Boom, into the wall.
Stay up okay now. Come down and let other cars get by. It's amazing. We've seen a number of spins here.
Look how fast Mark is going. All of a sudden, something happens with Yaley, and he decides he's going to go down a pit lane. You can't do that. You can't just decide I'm going to come down.
2 of the cars that haven't quit. When they check up.
Oh, LaJoy gets touched from behind. Tony Stewart, big crash up in the corner.
Keep coming.
Huge crash as cars slide, spin, and slam up in turn 4.
He's got cars on the inside of him, on the outside of him. Oh, and Kansas just looks like he was leaving a little room on the bottom and moved up a tad and got into Jeff.
Casey Kane involved.
Oh, I think
Allmendinger.
Listen, when the field went by, there were only about half. It's only about half a field left.
And right in there is the loose stuff, and you get in that, I mean, it will not turn. It just goes straight, and it does in the wall.
Yep.
Let's check in on Bill Weber down on the 70.
Watch him in the Hardee's car on the outside of the track. He was bumped.
Yes, he was. Bill Elliott got into him as he came off at turn 4, and he knocked him into the wall and spun the car around.
He slides down to the inside of the track, then the car slides back up the banking, and there's the contact with Mark Martin.
Yeah, I think Dale Jarrett would have been okay had Mark not hit him, but Mark had made his commitment going into the turn, and Jarrett was just up there.
Way too fast.
Here comes Kenseth. Oh, yeah.
One just walked up the racetrack, gets in the Boyer, and it was on from there. Little boy Mark Martin came in there and hard lick on Martin Truex Jr.
Ambrose, nice job to miss that one. Greg Biffle, too.
48.
And Gilliland.
48. I don't know how.
There's Jeff. Oh, and Mark Martin is, wow, hard in the wall and a flame.
Getting 3 wide, getting in there. Mark was sailing it off in there on the outside of Gilliland. Boy, look at Ryan Newman. He almost got, his car went up in the air.
Just really nowhere for Newman in the 39 to go.
No.
Mark get loose? Yep. Oh, yeah. Mark got loose driving underneath the 0 car.
Really loose. And on the right side of the Fords is an oil pump.
The back. He just goes diving down here after he gets clobbered by the 31. On the 83, okay, this started already behind, but the 83 got turned.
But they see that going on in front of them, and they're all jockeying for position to avoid that. And it's that chain reaction accident. You know what I mean? Look at the cars, man.
There's a lot of cars in that accident.
Menard did a great job. He got up on the high side and kind of got around.
Well, that could be the problem down there.
It all started with Kenny Wallace down there in the 78 car. It looked like he got down on the apron. He got pinched by the 66 car.
Okay, as they head into turn 1, he's the 3rd car in line. It looks like the right front tire must have blown on that car because it veered straight into the wall. We thought Ridley blew it, but apparently he got tapped from the rear and sent into the wall, but no one was close to Mark Martin, so apparently let go and shot him over the wall.
It's obvious that happened, but I just don't understand why the interliners don't work anymore.
We got hit by Earnhardt in the 3. Earnhardt used him up. Oh! 6, 7, 8, 9 car jam. Kyle got into it.
Just a little bump right there, like a bump draft, almost like what Dale Jr. did to Michael earlier and what Carl Edwards did to Dale Jarrett going down the back. Just a little bump, and away they go, wrecking everywhere. Now, Mark Martin hit the wall hard. Elliott Sadler had a couple of brushes with
something was wrong, and he was correct. Here's what happened as he moved to turn 1.
Get involved. You watch Mark Martin right here. He'll run in the back of Skinner. Into the inside wall. Very hard.
From Mark Martin, whose car is now all torn up.
It's the outside wall real hard. Gets hit again, and takes out.
This is the shot of it from our mountain cam. You can see several cars spinning and hitting the wall.
And the car number 4 of Rick Wilson is out in front. The orange car, Michael Waltrip, I believe, was involved. Rick Wilson has brought his car back around with a lot of damage done to the front end. He's on pit road right now. Richard Petty was at the back of the pack, so he comes in there and just stops. And you can see the fire break out on Johnny Rutherford's car, the Slender U.
But all of a sudden, Dick Trickle comes down, makes contact with Mark Martin. He has to go down. He hits the 22 in the right rear and just drives that Pontiac head on in the outside retaining wall. And Mark Martin's going to come down and get plowed into by, I guess, Derek Cope right there.
Yeah.
No, he hit the 22 car. And it's the 43 that did the damage to the 6 car.
Yeah, he hit him in the driver's side, and that's, I'm sure.
Right along.
Inside.
Yep, he had it saved. He just got a little bump there from Michael Waltrip.
Uh-oh, Kyle caught up. Field accordion's back.
Whoa, man.
Trouble, Stewart in the wall.
Here we go. Here we go.
Robbie Gordonson at the 33. Harvick is around.
Here we go, guys.
The big one.
It's just a matter of time. At least 20 cars. At least 3.
Well, there's Dale Jarrett right there. As they head off in the corner, he goes down on the flat part of the racetrack.
He might have had a little bit of a bump from the 28 car, his teammate, as they went in there.
At 190 miles an hour, it's almost impossible for the brakes to slow the car to miss the incident. You steer for the hole and hope it's still there when you get there.
Boy, that track closed up in a hurry. When one car spun, they're as close as they were running together. They had to
bring out the caution flag. Top of the screen. Looked like Johnny Sauter and maybe Bill Elliott got tangled up.
Boy, Mark just got collected. Sauter came off.
Going down the front straightaway. And he said he just got in the wall. He got in the outside wall coming off the 4th turn. Got in it once, got back in it again, and there he is again.
That was the hard one.
And they're all hard.
38 car, Elliott Sadler gets bumped from behind by the 48. Around he goes in front of all that traffic. He was running second when that crash took place. And we're fortunate 20 cars were not involved.
Yeah. Matt Yoakum.
Yeah, it came off of turn 4, and all of a sudden it just veers to the right, like we've seen so many times here tonight. And apparently,
Martin has taken a hard hit into the turn 3 wall.
I was looking right at it.
goes a little high there. Gordon gets into him. They both have to back off, and then the jamming up starts. And they get into the wall on the outside. Others starts jockeying around. There's Derek Cope. He thought he got through that for just a moment, but Mark Martin's going to come right back up in front of him. And is that Ricky Craven?
Yes, it is.
Ricky Craven in car number 41 that's flipping over, went up against the outside wheel fence, back down on the track, and was hit again.
Yeah, he got hit again as the car was rolling toward the apron of the racetrack. So Ricky Craven.
Oh, man.
It's a wonder.